girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done.
All right. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How we doing? Buenos dias. Another beautiful morning. Another beautiful morning. Puts printed beautifully. They sure did, man. Oh, what a beautiful day. Beautiful rejections all over the place. Morning, everyone. Morning, Carlos. Margin, as always, Barefoot, Jacob, CJ, Pat, DP, Golf Nut, Chef. Good morning, Chef. Chris, thanks for joining the live stream. Chris Carras. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Morning, Kevin. All right. Some awesome rejections yesterday. Right off our levels, man. Right off that 50 SMA, that 19750. Whew. That was sick. That was sick. Hold on, guys. Still working on some levels this morning as we speak. Just going to type this one out and then we'll get started. Marvin, what do we got, Marvin? Let me see. So I want to thank you for everything. The shirt orders, I can see you haven't made money on them. Literally just... Yeah, Marvin, appreciate that, Marvin. I mean, you know what you charge me for them, and you know what I'm charging for them. So there you go, right there. I didn't ask Marvin to say that. That's just right there. So appreciate that, Margin. Yeah, man, not looking to really make money off the t-shirts, man. I love to get people wearing the merch, repping the brand. And yeah, we'll keep going, Marvin. Let's keep making them. I need some hats, Marvin. I need some hats. So yeah, new t-shirts. You know what? Let me go get one. Hold on. Wait. Need money for trading. Nice t-shirts. All right. International shipping. I'll reach out to Marvin. Maybe he can help me with that. Guys, if you join the Discord, all you got to do is go to wap.com and connect to your account. That's all you got to do. Okay? I'm sorry if you can't figure it out. It's really self-explanatory. Go to wap.com, sign up, connect your Discord account. You'll have access. If you can't figure it out, reach out to me. I will refund your money if it's too much to figure out. I can't. I mean, I'll try my best to help you, but it is very easy. Go to wap.com, go to the membership, connect your Discord account, and you are in. No more downside today. Big short squeeze today. All right, Jazz. I guess we'll see. I guess we're going to be calling what happens today. SPY Nvidia crushed me yesterday. Just a beautiful rejection, Eric. We talked about the rejections yesterday. We talked about the 19750 NASDAQ, that 5590 ES, the 20 SMA rejections. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff, and the downside came in. Whoever it was yesterday in the chat that talked about that Tesla bear flag, well done. Nailed that. I know I took some of that. I hope you did as well. Yeah, that was sick as well. Someone in the chat said, I think there might be a Tesla bear flag off that 236, and that was exactly what happened. So, well done to whoever that was. That 226 rejection yesterday was a thing of beauty. So, very nice. Morning, Yaz. Man, do you guys stay active and we're in Discord? Yaz, man, don't join if you're looking for alerts, man, to be quite honest. I trade live from 9:15. You know, we get in the live voice chat around 9:15. I'm on there until 12 o'clock. We're trading. We're talking about the markets the entire morning. We stay active, but this is not an alerts chat. I post when I trade. I talk about when I trade, but my goal of the community is to educate. It's to talk through the markets on a daily basis, to talk about the levels that are reacting on the intraday basis. I am not simply there to just call out trades all day. Hopefully people trying to make money off that. That's not why I'm there. It is much more of an educational experience than it is just simply waiting for me to tell you when to enter trades. Okay? All right. With that said, let's jump into it. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about what happened yesterday because that was sick. It was sick. Let's go. So, economic calendar, let's start with that. We got a little bit of economic data this morning. And the first thing we're watching today, the economic data, 8:30. You guys can see right here, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate. Very, very nice. Let's keep an eye out for that, 8:30. So that's that. Let's get that out of the way. Let's just get straight into the levels here. Earnings calendar, we had Amazon and Apple yesterday. You guys saw that. Amazon down, Apple pretty much flat. Really nothing changing there. And then today we got a few banks. We got this morning we had a few banks report earnings. What were they? Where the hell is my earnings calendar? Where's my earnings calendar? Why is it gone? There it is. We had, not banks, I'm sorry, energy this morning, ExxonMobil, Chevron, and that's about it. All right, so really nothing big there, just the 8:30 economic data. What's more important is let's jump into these technicals that happened on the NASDAQ yesterday. So yesterday, we very, very, very close, we were just pointed out that we needed to be careful at the 19,750. We had the major previous lows here at 19,750, major previous lows here at 19,750, and we talked about how this upside could simply just be the retest rejection that causes this market to move lower, and that is exactly what happened yesterday. We had these previous major lows at 19,750, and we saw the smackdown right off that level. Huge 4-hour level, right? Huge 4-hour level, not just kind of no short-term 2-minute BS level. This is a huge 4-hour level that we popped into and we rejected the entire day. Beautiful, beautiful rejection right off that 19,750. And you know what the best part of it is, guys? Right? And this is the best part of all of it. You didn't have to walk into the live stream yesterday, and you didn't have to go into the chat, and you didn't have to guess and try to boost your ego and tell me what's going to happen today, right? That is not what any of us did to make money yesterday. Not a single time yesterday did we have to guess what was going to happen in the pre-market live stream, on my live stream. That is not what you had to do to make money yesterday. What you had to do to make money yesterday was to stay open to any direction, any opportunity, focus on what was happening on the market, focus on the levels, focus on what was happening at our 19,750, spotting the rejections on the intraday, and executing, right? That's all you had to do. And then as we moved lower, you start to watch the levels again, right? What was our next level, right? Our next level was 19,400, right? That was our next level. We talked about how if the NASDAQ pulls back to 19,400, we look to see what happens there. Is it a hold? Is it a fail? What happens at 19,400? So let's go ahead and zoom in on 19.4 yesterday. Let's take a quick look at what happened at 19.4 on the 2-minute chart, right, as we watch the market on the intraday. We reject the 19.750. We get the downside move. We watch 19.4. Look at what 19.4 did yesterday. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Fail, retest, rejection. Bam. 19.4, our next level of potential holds. Did not show holds, right? We got our break, we got our bounce, we got our rejections at 19.4, leading to more downside, right? Reacting to those moves, right? That's the key. Very, very nice. We still have people in the chat pretending like they know what's going to happen today, which is beyond me, but that's okay, right? Those are the people that just one day they'll understand that all they have to do is wake up, watch the levels, and then trade off them. One day they'll understand. So yesterday, right, we saw that 19,750 failure. We got under 19.4. Very nice. Both of our levels failing, moving to the downside. Very nice. Very clean. Today, it's even more clear, right? What are we watching today, right? What are we watching today? Today, we're going to go ahead and watch what happens at 18,800, right? That's very obvious. We're just going to go ahead and watch what happens at 18,800. 18,800 was the previous Tuesday's lows from this week. And we're going to watch to see what happens underneath it, right? If we bounce into 18,800 today, we look for the rejections, right? We look for the rejections if we bounce into 18,800. So right here, 18,800, we got a drop. And this morning, we can see in the short term, look at what's happening right now at 18,800 in the after hours in pre-market. Look at this, right? We had that 18,800 low, which caused that market to push higher. In the after hours last night and this morning, look at what's happening at 18,800. Perfect failures right at that level, right? Previous lows into rejections this morning. So, very nice, right? We can absolutely set up a trade idea based off this 18,800 now. If the market pops higher today and stays under 18,800 and we start to see these rejections come in, right, then we know that markets can remain weak, right? How much it goes down, that's the question. But 18,800, right, is now our level we watch. Very, very clear. If we get over 18,800, then that would be the time that I would say we stop looking for downside, right? We can set up that idea based off the levels on the chart rather than trying to guess what's going to happen in the pre-market live stream. 18,800 is extremely clear today. That's the previous lows of the week, right? And if we stay under those previous lows of the week, we stay weak on this market, right? If we get back over 18,800, then that is a reclaim of that Tuesday low, and that would be where I think the market could probably sort of hold on, maybe just sort of slide higher a little bit today and sort of make back maybe some of that downside move, right? That would be the only situation that I would say would then potentially cause this market to just sort of push a little bit higher, maybe back towards that 100 SMA, right around that 19,070, which again was a beautiful rejection yesterday. If we look at this 1970, you can see that 19,070. You can see that 100 SMA, and that was a beautiful rejection intraday yesterday as well, right? If we go to the 5-minute chart, let's take a look at the 100 SMA yesterday. Look at how beautiful we had that 19,070 level. This is your 100 SMA right here, all right? So you had your 100 SMA right there at 19,070. You've tried to hold it. You failed below it. You popped back into it. You caused rejections. Weakness continues, right? So 19,070, very nice, right? 19,070, 19,400, our 19,750, and now our 18,800. So today, right, we're watching that 18,800 right here, 18,800. If we see weakness under 18.8, we stay weak, right? Markets stay weak. If we get over 18,800, that is where I probably would not look to short, right? Because that is a reclaim of these lows. Very important, right? We don't want to short back into the weekly lows if we get over that 18,800. If we get over 18,800, we likely navigate higher, probably towards that 100 SMA at 19,070, right? So a very clear game plan here. You have 19,070 here, you have 19,070 here, and you have that 19,070 100 SMA. If you get over 18.8, that would be where I think you navigate to, and that would honestly be where I'd look for maybe a potential rejection play once again at 19,070. Okay, very nice. 19,070, 18,800. Those are our levels we're watching today on the NASDAQ futures. If we stay under 18.8 and we stay weak, if we go out to this 4-hour chart, we can spot some potential support levels. And I think the next support level to watch out for on the downside is right here, guys. You see this little low right here? This is back from March 31st. You can see we have that 18,500 low, which also lines up with this little 18,500 shelf here. So if we do stay under 18,800 today and we do see that weakness come in, then I would assume your next spot is down at that 18,500. And below 18,500, you are coming back down to these channel lows right here, which is 18,300 and that 200 SMA. Okay, so 18,800, 18,500, 18,300. One day, hopefully, from my live streams, more traders out there in the world will stop trying to call bottoms and tops and just trade the intraday action. We can either try to boost our ego by trying to call the market and where it's going to go, or we can actually make money trading because we're just unbiased and we're trading the intraday. You can choose which side you want to be on. I know which side I want to be on. So 18,800, 18,800, very clear. Watch for those potential rejections. If we see that, possibly 18.5. If we get over 18,800, then I think you will see that sort of grind back higher, possibly back towards that 100 SMA. So this is really the line in the sand for you today. All right. Let's go to the QQQ. Awesome stuff yesterday on the QQQ. We saw that 50 SMA rejection at the 474, right? What a beautiful failure that was yesterday, right at our 50 SMA. We talked about that 50 SMA. We talked about those previous lows, right? Right here. You can see right here. We talked about those previous lows right here. Boom, 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 and bam, right? The boom, 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 then bam. Beautiful, man. Look at this. Previous lows, previous low, 474, popped into it, faded, rejection, beautiful. Now, what was the next level, right? What were we watching yesterday to either see if we could hold it or if we were going to fail it, right? No, I'm not still holding those coin Nuyen. No, I took those off yesterday. Right here, right? 468, very nice. We held that on Wednesday, 468, right? So that was what sort of kept us higher. Look at what happened at 468 yesterday on the 2-minute chart. Take a look at 468, right? If you were just sort of trading the levels yesterday and you said, hold up, right? 468's got to hold. If this doesn't hold, we should see more downside. Look at this 468 right here. 468, tried to hold, a little bit of rejection action, failed it, bam, continuation of downside. Beautiful. 468, very nice. Let's go out to the hourly chart again. What was our next level under 468? It was that 460, 460 low. You can see 460 turned into rejections. Very nice. Now, what's the level today? In my opinion, the level today is right around, it could be down at this 450, 450, but I'm going to sort of keep it at this 100 SMA around 456. I think I like that 456 a little bit more. If I go to this 15-minute chart, right, look at this right here. 456 was that level that held into end of day yesterday on the QQQ. See this right here? See that 456? That's sort of this general low at 456. If we get a pop today, right, which I would probably expect a little bit of a pop here to make back this sort of straight down. If we get a little pop here today, this is your best watch of the day right here, 4, 5, 6. If we turn yesterday's lows into rejection points today, that is absolutely a spot that I would be watching to see if weakness steps in, right? That could be beautiful. 456 right here on the QQQ. If we get a little pop into that 100 SMA, into that previous day low, this could be a fantastic spot to look for that fade. This would be an awesome spot to watch today. Let's keep an eye on that 456. Above 456, we move into the 460, okay? If we get above 456 today, guys, I would retire the really aggressive short ideas, right? Because that is back over the 100, and that is back over yesterday's lows, right? To be very aggressive on short side today, you cannot see the market reclaim yesterday's lows, okay? We don't want to see the market reclaim yesterday's lows. That's a very logical thing to think through. Think through it, right? While you're trading, make sure you sit back and take a second and think. We're above yesterday's lows. I probably don't want to short back into that level, right? So that is very important to you today and important to me today. Pay attention to where the previous day's lows were. If we're below previous day lows, there is still a reason to potentially consider that failure and to watch for the failure at that level. If we're able to get back above yesterday's lows, there is a good reason to just sort of retire that short side for the rest of the week, right? To end of week and wait for next week to see what happens. I would not want to be shorting today if we get back above yesterday's lows, okay? Very logical. Pay attention to that. That is very, very important today. That is 456 on the QQQ. If we stay under the 456, then we trade lower into this at 447. That is these major previous highs right here. Look at all these highs over here. That would possibly be where I think the QQQ may need to come down into, right, at 447, okay? 447. Very nice, okay? 447 is these major previous highs. That is this little hold over here. That is possibly where that QQQ needs to come down to. And look at that 100 SMA right there. Look at how clear that 100 SMA is potentially going to keep this market lower. Look at how clear this is, right? 456, 456, yesterday's lows, 456. You had a triple bottom low at 456, which is also the 100 SMA. If you get a pop and you fail, that is a fantastic level to watch, okay? Let's keep an eye on that 456 today. And just, again, think about this logically. If you get back above this triple bottom low, you are not going to want to expose yourself aggressively to shorts today because that is a reclaim over a triple bottom low. That is very important to pay attention to. S&P 500 futures, we talked about that 55.90, and man, oh man, was that a beauty. Right here, you guys can see. Go back to yesterday's live stream. Go watch the morning when we talked about the ESNQ. You can go ahead and pay attention to us talking about the potential rejections at the 55.90. That was a thing of pure beauty. Right here, rejections, rejections, support, rejections. 55.90, beautiful fail yesterday. Awesome, awesome weakness off that level. This is where we started to take some SPY puts yesterday. That was awesome. Next level was 55.40, 55.35. If we go into the 5-minute chart, take a look at this, right? Let's zoom in on this. If TOS will allow me to zoom in, sometimes it doesn't. If I zoom in on this, you can see right here, 5-minute chart, we failed that 55.35, 55.40 level. More downside opportunity after failing below, right? After failing below and turning this level back into rejections right here, right? We had the previous low. We had the highs. This was the level that held Wednesday that caused upside, right? You can see how we flipped and held that level on Wednesday, creating upside. We turned these highs into new lows. Yesterday, we broke below and turned it back into a rejection. Beautiful failure right there at the 55.35, 55.40, creating that continuation to the downside. Now, very clear today as well, right? Look at these lows, 54.40, 54.50. We have that very clear hourly low here, 54.40, 54.50, this whole zone right here. You guys can see we had that triple bottom low that was holding the market and even held the market into close yesterday, right? You can see right here. Look at the close yesterday and look at how the 54.50, the 54.50, look at how that held the market up, right, into close yesterday. That was right at that weekly low. Very nice. Now today, look at what happened. We failed and we turned it into rejections. Very, very clear, right? Look at this. Previous lows, we have failed them and turned them into rejections. Very clear right there. Look at the flip that's going on right here. That is as clear as it could possibly be. So today, if you get back over 54.50, you are not shorting into this market, right? You don't want to short into a hole if this market can get back over 54.50, hold above this. If it does, that means you're back above that weekly triple bottom low, and that's a reason to sort of retire the short idea for the week, for the end of the week, right? If the market wants to try to retrace a little bit, get back above this 54.50, then there is a reason to stop looking for that short because we are back above that low. Now, what are you looking for if you are looking to short this market today? You're looking for a pop and a fade at this level. This would be the beautiful pop and fade level to watch. If that does happen, then that is your short entry for the day. This is where you really need to pay attention to today. I think there is a very high likelihood today that we test this zone, right? I think there's a very high likelihood that we test this zone, and the people that make money today, right? The traders that make money today are going to be the ones that react correctly and pay attention to the price action at this area, right? The people that actually pay attention to what's happening in here and really nail what's going to go, what's going on here is the key. Do we start to see the weakness come in, or are we seeing that market grind back above it? This is the key spot right here on the market today. 54.40 to 54.50. Pay attention what happens in that zone. If we zoom out, we can see the next levels of support, in my opinion, are right here at 5,400. You can see right here, 5,400 and that 100 SMA. Probably going to be a little bit of a tough level to get under, right? So probably a little bit of support can step up here today, guys, right? So be careful shorting into that. That's very important. I would not be that aggressive shorting into a 100 SMA on the ES futures. So that's abundantly clear. Right, you can see we are very close to that this morning. So right here, you can see that 5,400, that 100 SMA. Not really somewhere I'd love to short into, right? I don't want to be entering shorts down in this demand zone down here. That's very clear. But where would I be interested in potential shorts? On a little pop and fade, right? A little pop and fade back into these lows. That's interesting. But that's only if I start to spot this weakness here. So for this morning, right, that short side is sort of, I would say, sort of gone. You have the 100 SMA, you have the 5,400. That's definitely a demand zone I would not be looking to short into. Now, of course, if we do break under 54 and we do start to see weakness under the 100, then yeah, we're probably going to see that continuation to the downside. All right, SPY real quick before our economic data. You guys can see right here, 4-hour chart. We got smacked right off that 554. We had this 554 level that we got smacked down at. The key yesterday, and the biggest key of yesterday, I think probably the most important thing that happened yesterday was the fail under 551. That was a thing of beauty as well. We had that 551 high, 551 high, 551 low, 551 low, and we saw the 551 try to hold on in the pre-market, right? We saw that yesterday early morning, right? We talked about that 551. We talked about that 551. When that SPY gave up 551, that was it, right? When we gave up that pre-market low, when we saw those rejections underneath 551 yesterday, look at how beautiful that was, please. Just look at how beautiful. This was a sick bear flag that we traded with the group yesterday. If you guys are there and you're part of the group, you know this. This was an awesome trade. 551 little bear flag here, right under that 551 level. Look at that failure. Beautiful on the 2-minute chart. That was the key, right? After seeing that pre-market low fail, after seeing that rejection of 551, that was it. What was the next level? 548, right? Look at this. 551. That was our 554. What was our next level? It was 548. Look at what happened on the intraday at 548. Look at those wick rejections underneath 548, creating that next bear flag and downside continuation. So just trading these levels, right, on the intraday, paying attention to what's happening was the key yesterday. Why was 548 important? Very clear. Look at this right here. 548, lows, highs, 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 right? Failure under 548, downside continuation. What was the next level? 543 and the 50 SMA, right? 543, 50 SMA. What happened at that level? Look at this. 543, 50 SMA. We failed it. We failed it. We failed it. Beautiful, right? Level to level yesterday on the downside. Absolutely gorgeous. So, 30 seconds till data. But before we get that data, here's what you're watching today, right? The 539. 539, 539, 539 failures. If we stay under 539 today, then we are going to continue to stay weak. I'd actually probably push this up a little bit into previous day lows. I'm going to push this up just a little bit, right into that 539. Yeah, like that 539.70. Okay, we got our economic data there, and it's all over the place. And it's sort of down, sort of up. Average hourly earnings, 0.2 versus 0.3, and we can't go down any further today. We can't. Can't go down. I'm telling you. I'm kidding. But come on, all right? Let's just pay attention to what's going on. Let's keep trading these levels, and let's trade the intraday. That's the most important thing. So we have just failed under 536. What is the ES doing? The ES, okay, the ES is under 5,400, and the 100 SMA. All right, so now we got to watch to see what happens at 54 today. So if we stay under that 5,400 and that 100 SMA, we might go lower there, right? What's the next level? We'll have to see if it reclaims, right, guys? It's still early, right? This can still pop above, no doubt, right? Still early. NASDAQ, look at that rejection of 18.8. So that 18.8 is absolutely getting stuck now, right? That previous low, 18.8, very nice. 18,500 is your next level. Let's go to that QQQ. Yeah, just getting stuck under that 540, that 456 now. Ouch. Ouch. So that 100 SMA is going to be a tricky spot today, guys. This is going to be a tricky spot today at that 100 SMA. Yeah, that could be a little bit tough, right? Because we're going to have to be very cautious there. There could be some sort of intraday reactions at that 100 SMA. I would be just a tad bit cautious at that level. Right, that could get a little tricky. That could get a little bit tricky. So be careful at that 100 SMA. That might be a little tough. All right, so let's be careful there. I could definitely see a little bit of wick action, sort of step up off this 100 SMA. Next real demand is down at the 53.70. But man, to be honest, guys, this is not really what you wanted to short the market today. You sort of wanted a little, maybe a little popper, back into supply and then the downside. So, yeah, I mean, I would have liked to not see this straight red off the open, right? Because then it gets a little bit more tough to trust because you got to be careful those little pops back higher. But, yeah, this is pretty ugly. This is actually moving down with some strength now. I would have liked the pop. I would have liked the pop. Unfortunately, we're not getting that. So next level below on the NASDAQ, we'll relook at this when we get after we look at the stocks here today, guys. 18,500 right now. All right. Let's go to IWM. Oh, it's already at 210. Yeah, see, this is why this sucks. IWM, man, R227. Remember that daily triple top high we were talking about? What a fake out that was. What a rejection that was. Man, beautiful, 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 beautiful off that IWM. We got under that 215, and now we're at the 210. Guys, if we stay under 210, we're going to probably fill this straight up move, right? If we stay under 210 on IWM, I would assume that we stay weak on this IWM, right? And this squeeze here might just start to get diminished, right here, that 210. If we stay under this 210 high, I would assume this IWM possibly gives back just everything that it has sort of pushed higher over the last few weeks, right? Right here, this pretty much squeeze from 204. I think it is very possible that the IWM, if we reject under that 210, this could get, sort of moving back towards that and pretty much just make a full trip, a round trip from 204 to 210. I'm sorry, from 204 to that triple top daily supply, right back down into that 204. That is very possible. So look for that rejection under 210. Holy crap, this thing is tanking. All right. This is the one time I will allow in the voice chat or in the live chat. This is the one time I will allow someone to say, holy shit, the market's tanking. I'll allow it today. I'll allow it. This is a real move, right? That's enough for me to say, okay, this is pretty ugly. One time only. All right, let's go to Tesla. Man, I really don't like this, though, because this is sort of just getting rid of all our opportunities today, unfortunately. Yeah, I just don't love it, right? Because you got it now. Today just gets more difficult, right? I would have liked to, see these moves on the intraday, of course. So now we're under 215 on Tesla. That was a beautiful bear flag that we spotted in the pre-market. Shout out to whoever that was. You know who you are. I don't remember your name, but someone in the screen, someone in the voice chat, someone in the live stream yesterday said, "Hey, take a look at Tesla on that bear flag. You are absolutely spot on, brother." Under 226 when we got that 226 failure yesterday, and I'll show you how beautiful that 226 failure was. We can see right here that little break and retest rejection of 226. That was sick. That was sick under 226. Very nice failure under that level and very clear, right? Obviously, very clear downside continuation. Big spot here on Tesla. Big spot here on Tesla. This 205, 208, you can see right here, 205, 208. This is a must hold on Tesla. And if we get under that, that gets a little bit questionable. That gets a little bit questionable. Sean, was that you, Sean? I think it was you, Sean. Yeah, GG, Sean. Nice job. So, Tesla, 208. Let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit. 208 and that 205 zone right here is really that zone I'd be watching. You can see that's the 50 SMA at 208, and that is the 205 that's right near that 200 SMA. So, going to be very tough to just wake up and try to short Tesla through this zone, right? That's the tough part about this market downside pre-market. I'm not going to want to start shorting into this very clear demand zone. What I'd love to see on Tesla is a bounce and fade at 215, right? That would really be the spot that I'd love to short right here. Bounce and fade at 215. 215, 215. If we can get a little morning pop and a little rejection at 215, that would be the play, right? That would be the play. Would love that. But we'll see, right? We got to watch that 208, that 205 zone, and we got to look for that bounce and retest, that break and retest of that 215. Nvidia, okay. Oh, man, Nvidia rejected 106.50 beautifully this morning. Ouch. Would have loved to take that intraday, and it's gone. Under this 106.50, you have 101.50, and under 101.50, guys, we're coming back to that 97. We might finally get that 97 test that we were sort of talking about the last few weeks. Remember when we took that 125 short? I was talking about that 97. Man, imagine if I held that. So, I mean, obviously I would have had to sit through a lot of BS, so no way I was holding that. But 106.50, beautiful rejections here, right? Beautiful rejections, 106.50, 106.50. We failed that today. Next level is 101.50. It might be 100. It might be 100. So I think we do watch that 100 psych. I might just put my level at 100 today, just to be safe. The reason I have 101.50 is because if we go to the daily chart, actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it at 101.50 because that's the low here. 101.52 is where I'm going to put that level. 101.52. That is that daily chart low right here, right? You guys see this? See this 101.52 right here? Under that level is your gap, right? Under 101.52 is your gap to 97, okay? So 101.52 is the low on the daily chart right here. This candle low, 101.52. Under that level, you have a gap to 97. That could be very interesting to look for today, right? You can see it's trying to hold right now, 101.52. Okay, so 101.52 is the level. If we get under that level, we're looking for that gap fill to 97. Okay, if we bounce off 101.52, we're looking for the bounce and fade of 106.50. Both ways, we're watching the key levels. Amazon has a gap fill. This is something I wanted to point out today. I would watch this today. Amazon, under Amazon 165.74. Right here, if I go to the daily chart. Amazon's down a lot from yesterday. Under this 165.74, which is right here. See this? 165.74. We have a gap up from the previous earnings. Okay? This is back in January, February. We had a gap under 165.74. We have a gap possibly down to 162 and possibly down into around that 160. Okay? So right around here. Right, if we look over here, let me zoom in on this. You see this gap? Under this 165.74, you have a gap to fill into 160. Possibly some support at 162. But this is something I would be watching today. If Amazon fails this level, right, at 165.74, then there is a gap below that I would be paying attention to. But right now you can see it is holding. That's a very key hold. If it holds there, it could pop back higher. If it does pop back higher, I know exactly where I'd like to look for the fade. You guys probably can see it on your screen right now. Right there. If we can get a pop and fade at 174, that would be really what you want. Right, guys? If the market stays weak, you want the pops, right? The pops are weak. We don't trust the pops in a weak market. So if we can get these pops and these fades at these key levels, that's really what we're looking for that opportunity. It's not great when the market's just sort of tanking at the pre-market. Because then you're at risk of sort of that, people shorting into holes, getting squeezed out, the market pushing back higher. You really want the market to bounce and then find those areas of rejections. That's really what you'd prefer. Today on Meta, I would be watching this 494.50 right here, 494.50. Very clear lows, right? 494.50. If we stay under that 494.50, I would look for that short side into 480. Okay, 480, under 480, the weakness continues. But I'm going to be watching right here, this 494.50. I'm going to look to see if that stays weak. And if it stays weak under these daily SMAs, then I would look for that, sort of meta earnings gap fill back towards that 480. Definitely something I'll be watching there. What a beautiful rejection on Meta yesterday, right at our 528. This was our 528 level we talked about yesterday. What a perfect nail that was. SMCI, this could get ugly. Now this one, could get ugly, right? If we just look at this chart, sort of bare bones chart, and look at what it did back in the beginning of this year, this is a little concerning, right? So SMCI could be something to try to nail here. Let's see, right? If I go to that 4-hour chart, SMCI does report earnings, so the contracts are going to be insanely expensive. That's my only concern here. You could look to short shares, right? That could be a better way to trade this because it does have quite a bit of, quite a big move. On the ATR, the true range is pretty large, so you could possibly just try to short shares if you want to do it. But 605 and this 565 area are possibly two supports. Under that, I think it's around this 490, this 500 level. Right here around 500 would be your next spot there, right? But you can see, guys, this is really just straight upside. So interesting. Something I will be watching. You can see, look at these very nice failures around that 725. That's very clear. And this 760, very clear. We are under that 200 SMA. And what I would be looking for today to really confirm weakness is a rejection under 671. If we reject under 671, that is a rejection of that weekly low. So watch that 671 today. If we get a little bounce and fade at that 671, that could be where you look for that downside continuation. But be a little bit cautious on SMCI. She can be a crazy one, and she has earnings coming up, so it could be tough. But I'm going to watch to see if it stays under this weekly low right here around 671 and see if there's a little bounce and fade there today. That's something I will be watching. What's the market doing? Yeah, trying to hold that 18.5, right? That 18.5 is trying to hold. That ES is trying to hold that 53.70, that 100 SMA, right? This is going to be dangerous, guys. It's going to be dangerous over here. All right, please know that. You're going to want to get the market settle a little bit today because you got a lot of volatility going on, and you're sitting right at that 100 SMA. It could get a little bit tough there just because of that 100 SMA. 532.50 trying to hold. 536, we are underneath that. QQQ. Okay, QQQ is trying to hold our 447 level right now. All right, so that's clear there. What do we want to look at? Let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft back under that 417. What a beautiful rejection of 417 that was. If we go to this 4-hour chart, really the next level of support here, guys, for me, is this 200 SMA and these lows right here at 404.50. Excuse me. 404.50 is right here. 404.50. That lines up with that 200 SMA. If we break under that 200 SMA right here and that 404.50, then I think you trade back down to that earnings low. All right? So 404.50 is this 200 SMA right here. You can see right here. Let me move that up a little bit. 404.50 is where that level is. That's where you're sort of held here, right? That's where that 200 SMA is. So we could see Microsoft hold here, no doubt, right? Microsoft could hold that 200 SMA. If it does, I'd look for the bounce and fade off 417. If we do break under that 200 SMA at 404.50, then I think you will trade back down to that earnings low around that 396. Okay? So watch that on Microsoft. Google. Let's take a quick peek at Google. Yeah, under 171.50. Oh, look at that rejection of 175. Damn, man. That's clean. That 175 fail, that is clean. Look at this. Previous lows. Look at how that turned into a perfect rejection. Previous low, previous low, previous low. Bam, bam. Beautiful break, retest, bam. Beautiful. It looks like today you're going to be messing with the 168, right here, the 168 low from post earnings, right here, that 168, right here, right, 168. If you break under that 168, I'd say you trade down into this 166, right, 166, and under 166, 164. So I would watch today. I go to the hourly chart right here, right? I would watch this 168. If you fail that, you're coming down to that 166 and that 164. What would I look for that short side? I would love the 171.50 rejections. If I go out to that 4-hour chart, let me show you why. 171.50, right? Look at this. 171.50 right here is previous lows right there and lows right there. If we bounce and turn 171.50 into rejections. That's a fantastic short entry. AMD, yeah, I don't like AMD, to be honest. I don't really even have interest in trading AMD, to be quite honest. It's like this 133.50 spot. Let me go ahead and look at the short term here. Yeah, you could look for this today. Just look for the bounce and fades of the key previous lows right here. What is that? 134? That's what I'd look for today. If AMD stays weak under 134, which you can see right now is causing a perfect rejection point. Look at this. Lows, highs. That is as clean as it's going to get for you on AMD. So, yeah, if AMD stays under 134, it's going down. All right, no doubt. 134, previous lows into rejections in the pre-market. That's about as clear as it gets. So if you stay under 134 on AMD, I'd say you navigate towards that 125. Did I sell AMD? Guys, I'm not that concerned about selling AMD. You don't need to scream at me about it, okay? I have like $5,000 worth of shares. I'll be all right. Did I sell AMD yet? No. Just some shares in my long term. Not panicking. This is not the time you start panicking on your long term. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. The market, right? If you bought AMD at any time before this year, the market is still up, right? 10% for the year, right? We're not just out here panicking on every share purchase we've ever made because the market is down today. All right. So, what's next? What's next? Apple. Take a quick peek at Apple. So, Apple. Yeah, I said I might, but it's not, all caps in the chat. No, I did not. That's a pet peeve of mine, guys. You don't need to yell at me, okay? 215, 215, 215, 215. Big level on Apple. If we break under that 215, then I think you get further downside. Under 215, you might get 211, right? You might get 211 right here. 211, right? If we break under that 215 on Apple, keep an eye on that. 215 must hold. If you break that on Apple, you're moving lower. 210, 211, back down to that 208. Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. Let's get a quick peek at the NASDAQ ES so you guys can see the NASDAQ is holding at exactly the demand level we had marked before this data even came out, which was 18,500. That is very clear. You can see that 18,500, the perfect hold level that is stepping up. So the market is looking to push back higher. That is very good. I like that. I would prefer this to try to see what happens today, right? I don't want to just start opening the day at a low. So let's get that pop. And let's see what happens at 18.8, right? At this point, I think you will try to navigate towards that 18.8, right? Let's get that navigation through that back to that 18.8, right here. That's where I want us to come into, and then we look for this or we look for this, right? This is where we want to set up our trades today at the 18,800. So a nice hold of 18.5. We now know today, right? Very clear. This is great, right? This is very good. Why is this good? Because now we know our levels, right? We have got a confirmation of levels today. We have confirmed 18.5 demand, and we have confirmed 18.8 supply. So now we can look at these levels to find intraday trades. We're not going to short into 18.5. We're not going to long right into 18.8. We're going to look for maybe a break and hold below. Beautiful. We're going to look for a break and hold above. Beautiful. Or we're going to look for retest rejections, right? Very nice. Beautiful there on the NASDAQ. ES 5370, very nice. We have that 5440, very nice. Now look at that. Now that's interesting, right? Look what we just saw there. Look at that. Now that's sort of interesting. Look at what just happened at 5400 on the ES. Now that could get sort of interesting, right? Look at that candle that just put in at 5400. So that's an interesting watch now. So 5,400, what happens there today? That could be something to keep eyes on. Very interesting there. Oh, and see, Look at this, right? 536. That could be interesting as well, right? Look at that. 536, break, retest. That's something to watch as well. Now, if we get over 536, we know there's no more shorts, right? Then we're going to navigate up towards that 539. This is interesting. Okay. All right. Today might be sexy. ES 5400, SPY 536, QQQ. It looks to be just sort of at these lows, right? That 540. I'm sorry, the 540, the 450. Let me put a level there real quick and see if that shows me anything. 450. What is it, like 450? Yeah, it's just sort of at these previous lows, 450.50 right there. I don't think I'm going to trade off that, but I just want to see if there is a reason for that hold there, or that rejection. 450.50. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit there, right? Look at this, 450.5, 450.5, so nice. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, I think that SPY 536 and then that 539, those are our levels today. You can see, yeah, we're going right back over it. All right. So, back to the original game plan, right? Right here, 18.8. Let's get that bounce. Let's get that bounce. Let's look what happens at 18.8 today. I would like the bounce. I do not want to short into a hole today. All right, that's all I got. Press that like button. We didn't even get to 1,000 likes. Damn. Ouch. All right, press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And have a fantastic weekend, my friends. Good luck out there. Please, 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 please pay attention to what's going on the intraday. Pay attention to the price action. Focus on the levels on the intraday. Trade based off of them. Take every idiotic bias that you have in your mind before you enter the market. Pay attention to the levels. Trade what the market is showing you. Make money rather than try to prove a point, right? You can prove your point by trading and making money, right? That's how you can prove your point. Make money, prove your point that way. We don't need to try to guess what happens before the market opens. Let's watch these levels. Let's keep an eye on how the market action shows. Let's trade any and all directions that do come in. And let's profit off the market. That is what I want for all of you guys. That is why I'm a dick sometimes in the voice chat and dick sometimes here in the live stream, because sincerely, it's from experience. It's from knowing what you shouldn't be doing. It's from doing it myself. And it's from hopefully helping someone out there to snap out of some bad habits that is not going to get them anywhere in trading. That's why I do it. And I hope you can somehow appreciate the hard love that is necessary to learn how to trade correctly in this market. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.
Girls with their nails done now.